And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. We have Bav. No, we don't have Bavs. He might be coming a bit late. I've just sent him this stuff. He said he's running a bit late, so hopefully he'll be on in a bit. However, we've got Ant with us. Ant, we were at the game yesterday again, but man, we'll touch briefly on the game, but we want to get straight into it because these games are just coming so thick and fast now.
Such a quick turnaround, and I find it strange that, bear in mind, we played on the second day of the Carabao Cup ties, and then we've got the early kickoff on a Saturday. That doesn't make sense to me, but
you sound like Jurgen Klopp.
All right, let's not go too far, all right? But it is what it is. It's the cards we've been dealt. Let's make the best of it. We rotated heavily last night anyway, so I doubt it'll be many of the same players. So it shouldn't really affect us massively.
No, and again, the only player that's played, I think I mentioned it on the post match. If you check it out on the channel as well, the only player that really was played is Soyuncu that will probably play in this one as well. But I can imagine we're going to a back three again. I've talked to Baz recently. Again, it's kind of he's not here, so we're gonna have to just figure it out as we go. But in terms of that, you can expect pretty much everybody that didn't play to play in this one.
Yeah. Yes. I think it will be an unchanged team from Brentford, if I'm honest. I think it would just be the same lineup again.
Yeah, do you know what? There's a couple of again. We'll get if Babs comes. We've got another couple of players I want to question him on. But the fact that we've given Yuri Tillemans a break, because the thing is, I don't think before we would have given Yuri Tillemans a break. The fact that we've given him a break, we've took him out of the team, and we've put a couple of other players in. Now, I think Brendan likes to play him game in, game out. However, this was a good opportunity to rotate, and we're through to the next round. So Yuri Tillemans is going to be right up for this one, I think.
Yeah, I've said it a couple of times about Tielemans. It's like, even if he does move on, you can't fault his commitment to the club and the cause at the moment. We've seen it with players like Chilwell, even to an extent Maguire, just downing tools once they knew they were going. And I don't think Tielemans has made his mind up yet. I think that's very much dependent on where we are at the end of the season. But he's still so dedicated to the cause, running harder than most players on the pitch, working so hard. So he's been like a top professional. True, like a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, it really does. And obviously we'll have some. It's going to be again, as Chester says as well. Well, we've got a shout out for you as well, and also it's going to be a tough game this year. I think. Do you know what? As much as we slandered Arsenal, because I can remember we went to the when we were there at the we were there at the Norwich game, and we were thinking going down with the Arsenal. That was a beautiful moment in itself. However, they've really turned it around, and that is kind of credit to them because obviously they've got good players, but it could have just fallen off a cliff then.
It could have, but at the same time, yes, they've gone on this like mini unbeaten run. I don't think Arsenal fans should be getting carried away with that, though. A lot of draws and a lot of shaky performances, but it's a better direction than the way they started the season.
Yeah, it's anything is up, but they've gone quite a bit. And speaking of the man himself, he's finally here. Babs, great to have you on, man. How are you doing?
Yes, lads. Thank you very much for having me on. I'm doing well. Looking forward to the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know if you're coming to this one. I think you were 50-50 last time we spoke.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure right now. I don't know, man. Arsenal away days, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm still not decided.
Fair enough. We were just talking about with Ant just before this as well. Obviously, we changed massively in terms of our performance. Now that we've come into this game, we're pretty much going to change all 11 players. We're going to play the same team against Brentford. So we're playing one team in the Cup and the Europa League, and one team in the Premier League. Was it the same? I know you guys won against Leeds 2-0. Was it a changed team then as well?
Yeah, mostly changed team. I think the only players that kept their place was Ben White and Emil Smith-Rowe. So yeah, it was mainly changed team.
Fair enough. And it's going to be probably, as you were saying before, since Tomiyasu again, who I'm always a fan of Asian players, but he's looked absolute class since he's come in as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tommy. We rested a lot of players on a Wednesday or Tuesday, sorry. So going into this game, right, we've basically got a fully fit squad except for Granit Xhaka. So yeah. Yeah,
that's a strange one. Anyway, so how do you think they'll set up today? Today. It's been a long week. The content's been flying in on Saturday. How do you think they'll set up?
Normally I'd say the back five is set, the goalkeeper plus the back four, but Tierney's not 100% yet, so we could go Tavares there, but it will be Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Tavares. Midfield will be Sambi and Partey. Don't think he changes that. And then it'll be the basically same team as Leicester. So you're gonna have Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Saka, and Aubameyang as the front four.
Fair enough. And have you got any questions or anything so far?
No, I think for Arsenal, I was going to say, do you think, obviously you started the season quite badly, and it's something Neil's just touched on. Do you think you've actually turned a corner now, or do you think you've been scraping through results?
I want to say we turned a corner because, like, using context for the first 3 games of the season, imagine missing like 5 or 6 first teamers. Completely missing. I mean, the team that played against Man City that got battered 5-0 had a back 5 with Kolasinac, Holding, Chambers, Leno. These guys are not even starting for Arsenal anymore. So, turn the corner, you could say, but I'm not really surprised. I expected an upturn in form after the players that we paid the money for came back into the team, which has happened. And look, as I expected, I think we've got a decent little team that's, while not top 4 level yet, I definitely think some fans, like not just Arsenal fans, but fans across the league, have underrated. We've got some good players here.
Yeah, that's like not deniable. You've got quality across your pitch. It's just, I don't know if you would agree with this as well, but I've seen it a lot with Arsenal fans, and Leicester fans are probably just as bad for it, if I'm honest. But like at the start of the season, you went through those 3 games, and it's like we're the worst team in the league kind of thing, like properly overreacting to those games. You've gone on this little run. Oh, we're going to win every trophy. We're going to win sort of like every game. Do you think that there's a bit of an overreaction from what you've?
That's just how football works nowadays. Like we've gone 8 games undefeated, right? If we were to lose on Saturday, you're right, our fans will start going, he's not good enough, sack him. That's what football is now. Like, you lose 1 game out of 9, you go sack him, right? But you win the game, and it's like, oh well, Arsenal might be getting top 4 this year. That's just how football is nowadays. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was to happen. But I think with the Arsenal fans, we've got to realise that they're just not going to sack Mikel Arteta, so you might as well back it. Because if they were to sack Arteta, it would have happened last season. Last year, this period, November, December, October, we were awful. I mean, I think you guys started off by beating us, and then we lost to Villa as well. So, if he didn't go then, they gave him his own players, they gave him money to spend, and Arsenal are improving, then why would they sack him after, let's just say, we lose to Leicester? Because Leicester are a decent team. So you can lose a game of football, and you don't have to sack your manager. But I 100% agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, I just think there's a load of stuff at the moment where it's like, it's good. I think it's going to be a really, really, again, as Jess said, I'd be lying if we said there was a confidence for this game. I think both of us are kind of unconfident. I think you're more solid defensively, but I think we're better going forward. So it's kind of like the opposite kind of thing. I think both teams will score, but I genuinely can't predict a result for this one, but I think it's going to be a really tough game for both of us.
It'll be tight. I don't know. It's one of those games where either one team turns up and really like takes it to the others and wins like 2-0, 3-1. Or it's like a draw. I don't think it'll be a close, like a 2-1 victory to Arsenal Leicester. I can either saying one team comes up and really does it, or both teams just match each other out. I'm not confident. Obviously, I'm not, but the back 5 does give me a sense of, okay, we can actually cause Leicester's issues, because normally our defence has been the issue, and we've got attackers that will always cause issues, Aubameyang and Saka and Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe is the one to watch really. But with there being such a young team, I wouldn't be surprised if we weren't to turn up, because that's how young players are. When your team is built around 2 young players like Smith Rowe and Saka, who are 20 and 21, they're going to have bad games. They're not going to be as consistent right now because they're not in their peak years. So that is important as well, but I think we can cause you guys issues.
I think we've had the same issue with our young squad, and we've known that our squad is young, and the mentality sometimes has dipped, and that's why people have gone, well, we don't understand why we're not winning the games, and I think that is a part of that as well.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's like Bav says, when you're building a young squad, like what we've got is like Barnes and Maddison and those players are slightly older than Smith Rowe and Saka. You've almost got to expect inconsistency at time. It comes with having the squad that we've got, so yes, we've got the experienced players in Johnny Evans and Vardy, but you can't expect these youngsters to be performing at a 10 out of 10 every week.
And I think, Babs, as well, in terms of what's important for you guys, obviously you had a poor game against, I think you'll admit yourself, against Brighton. However, you still managed to get a draw out of it. And that's the same thing where you're getting points even though you're playing badly, and that's a sign of a good team.
Yeah, do you know what it is, right? It was more the Crystal Palace result. Because if you go back to Emery's like final few games at Arsenal, he had a draw against Southampton at the Emirates. We played awful. Southampton at a time were near the bottom of the table, and we got a last-minute equaliser. Lacazette was actually the player who scored then as well. And then the game following was a Thursday night Europa League group stage, Eintracht Frankfurt. We lost that game, and the next day was sacked, right? The fact that we drew 2-2 again this time to Crystal Palace, it wasn't the best of performances as well. But then to go against Villa, who are again a good team, and to beat them 3-1 comfortably as well, the most comfortable performance this season, I think it just shows the players are just backing the manager. And that's the positive. Because if the players are backing the manager, he's going nowhere. And, you know, Arsenal will improve like game by game. And obviously, like I know a lot of fans thinking that Arsenal are like a top 8 team now, top 7, or even lower than that. I've heard top 9. Someone said we're lucky to make the top half. I disagree with that, because I think last year we were 6 points off the top 4. And I think how many points off Leicester? I think like 4 points or something like that. 5 points, 4 points. Not too far off, let's just say, points wise, right? And that was because we went for that really rough period of time from November, December. And we had like a lot of fundamental flaws back then. No number 10, no creativity. The defence was leaking goals. Whereas now, that's been addressed. So Arsenal, I'm not saying we'll get top 4 this year, but we will be far more improved because we've addressed that. Like on paper, you can't. Those issues won't happen again.
Yeah, no, definitely. Is there anybody to really look out for that we wouldn't really so maybe obviously the Aubameyangs and probably the Smith Rowe, because a lot of obviously English tax, they'll always get the hype for the English tax. Anybody who say look out for?
Any player to look out for? I think defensively, be surprised with Ramsdale. Because I know that you like to counter-press, Leicester do, right? And when you counter-press and you give Ramsdale time on the ball, it will like literally pick up passes anywhere. And I can't believe I'm saying this, because like I wasn't even back in the signing, but yeah, he really does remind me a little bit of Edison. His kicking is just amazing. We've had Martinez at our club as well. Leno's alright at it, but like literally Ramsdale was a level above. I think he's a player you got to watch out for. You've already discussed about Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's a player who he can only kind of work out for Arsenal and maybe like a team that plays like this 3 at the back formation system going into the attack. So he's not going to really go bomb forwards either. Tavares, that's the one. Nuno Tavares. He could either be Roberto Carlos, right, because he's got like elite technical qualities, but he's also a bit naive. He's very young. He's 21 years of age, so he can be a bit rash. But yeah, going forwards, he's always a threat. I'm not sure if you watched the Aston Villa game, but Tavares was killing that side for Villa.
Fair enough. And is there anything else? Because obviously our side, we know kind of how we're going to set up, but at the same time, there's going to be some key players that we're going to have to try and neutralise, and Brendan Rodgers has to get his tactics right for this one.
Yeah, it's more. I don't know how. Obviously, I think on Saturday it would be quite a good atmosphere. Obviously, there's a lot in terms of Leicester going on, with it being the 3-year anniversary of passing of Vichai. How do you think the Arsenal players will cope with that, sort of it being quite an intense atmosphere? And you've got to feel like that our players will hopefully rise to that occasion.
It's a test. It's a test for a young team, and it will build character, like win, lose, or draw. But as you guys have already seen in the Brighton game, it was a poor performance, went away from home, and Arsenal only had one injury, and that was Xhaka. And we struggled because it was Brighton all over us. They were up for the occasion. They were out battling us, winning the duels. I think you all know the result of the game within the opening first 1 or 2 minutes. If we win our first few duels, Arsenal will be like electrifying for the rest of the game. But if we lose the first few duels, have a few poor touches, make a few mistakes, you're going to see an orphan Arsenal. That's just how it is. We need to set the tone from the start. But with obviously being Vichai's 3-year anniversary, I do think that could cause issues, because your players are going to be up for it. Your fans are going to be up for it as well. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Were you away for Leeds, or were you home?
Leeds was comfortable. At home, I'd comfortably think we beat Leicester. Like, with all due respect, seriously, at home, Arsenal have been really good. The only game we haven't was Chelsea, and that was, as I said, we're going back to the start of the year, missing 5-6 players. With our first team at home, I fancy against anyone par Liverpool, Man City.
Interesting. One thing as well, obviously, we've got Jamie Vardy, who's kind of on form at the moment. I know he didn't score in his last game, only played 45 minutes, but is there any kind of... have you got any injuries for your end? I heard Ben White might be out.
No, Ben White's. He's not injured. He had a bug, an illness. He played against Leeds United for the first half. He was balling. Second half, he got taken off right at the start of it. So that was that. But as Arteta's confirmed, no physical injury, no like actual muscular injury. It's literally just illness. So he should be fine. And apart from that, as I said, Xhaka is the only player missing. So to be honest, for Arsenal, there isn't really any excuses not to go to Leicester and win, in my opinion. Because if you got, I don't know if you've got, how many injuries do you guys have? Is there like any key players that are missing?
4, haven't we?
Yeah, full. See, so you're not even up to full strength right now. Arsenal are close enough to it. So this will be a real test. You know, as you said, your players will be up for it. And obviously, the last time we played it at the KP, the last 2 times we've won there, the Carabao Cup last season and the Premier League, but there was no fans there. The last time we were actually with fans there, you lot annihilated us, wasn't it? It was Emery's one of Emery's. Yeah, it was Emery's like one of his last few games, 2-0, 3-0. I think Madison scored a lovely little goal. So it's a good test. I want to see us. Yeah, exactly. I want to see our young players go away from home and play against a team that will be up for it and just show your quality. Because obviously, you know, it's a game that maybe you guys can also judge Arsenal. I don't want to see this, man. If we lose, then it is what it is. You can use the Leicester. You're a decent team.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting way, and obviously with Ben White, and we've got Jamie Vardy, and we know, especially against he's always good, and especially this season he's been on fire. But against a top team like yourself and a traditional top 6 team, he always managed to find a way through a goal. How do you think that Arsenal will kind of counteract that?
I'm sure with Ben White and Gabriel, they are both very aggressive defenders, which for Vardy it's perfect. You know, he wants space from behind, right? So I think with what Arteta will try, he'll try to maybe drop Partey in the middle. He'll try to like drop into like almost make it a back 5 at times. He's done it against Burnley this season as well. I think that's possible. But at the same time, with Tomiyasu there as well, I'm not sure if Vardy's not the best in the air, is he? He's not really the best in the air.
No.
So
unless you're
exactly.
terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So Arsenal have got a physical advantage there, but pace-wise, Vardy's always going to be a threat. But there's nothing you can really do about that. You can't put a faster centre-back. Centre-backs have the normal speed, right? And you just got to be anticipating what he's doing. And also the cutting off the passing lanes, because if you give space to Tielemans and Maddison to make passes, they're going to find Vardy. But if you can cut those off, Vardy's not going to go on and run on his own and beat 5-6 players, is he? Right? So I think it's just about nullifying your attackers, except for Vardy, to not get the ball to him, and I think we should be fine.
The big one is stopping Iheanacho as well, because that link up between Iheanacho and Vardy is ridiculous. And you said
it is. Do you know? It is, but it's like both ways. You got Lacazette and Aubameyang now. So you got Lacazette and Aubameyang, Iheanacho, Vardy, 2 strike partnerships, and I'm not sure if you guys play a 4-4-2, but it's like a 4-2-3-1 becomes a 4-4-2. That's likewise for Arsenal in the last game. But I think the difference in Arsenal Leicester right now is the difference in Arsenal Leicester is off the bench. I'm not sure. You got Patson Daka there, but it's not like a lot of quality there. Like Arsenal would off the bench, we'd have Odegaard, Martinelli, you'd have Pepe, you've had a lot of attackers off the bench. So if Arsenal's attacking plan isn't working, you've got these ways to change it. Whereas Leicester, maybe you've Barnes doesn't start, maybe Barnes off the bench, and you've also got Patson Daka.
But so the problem is, and I think it's kind of what Babs is saying. I think we disagree. We have got quite a lot of strong strength and depth, especially at the moment, but we'd have to change the formation. And if we go to 4 at the back, as we saw against Brighton, even those second string teams, we fell apart.
Yes. So wait, you guys play 3 at the back?
We played 3 at the back, and then we changed to 4 at the back, and Brighton came at us, and there was no coincidence that happened.
Interesting. Because Mikel Arteta,
second team,
he knows how to illustrate a press. If we press, we can press really good, like really, really good, right? But the issue with the fingers against a back 3, Arteta's become a bit more. He's a bit wary of the wing backs and how they're threats. That's why Brighton just completely destroyed Arsenal, because we couldn't cope with the overloads on the sides, right? But then against Aston Villa, who also played a back 3, maybe not as good as Brighton, we changed it up a little bit. You dropped Lacazette in there, who's a bit more aggressive in the central regions, and you always dropped off to help out Partey and Sambi sometimes. I want to see how he does against a better back 3 team. Because we played against Tuchel last year, we beat them at the Stamford Bridge, but we played a back 3 against the back 3, so it's a bit more even. Whereas Leicester, I've not seen you guys that much in your back 3. You used to play the midfield. I mean, I used to see Leicester playing a 4-3-3. I don't know why you've changed that. Probably injuries. But I am looking forward to seeing how Arsenal cope once again against a back 3 and how we press you guys. And if we're aggressive, I know you've got decent centre backs. Sionchu's good under pressure, but we can really cause issues on that press. Who's your midfielders? I'm not sure. I'm sure indeed he's missing.
Samari and Tielemans.
So Samari again, he's all right. Samari is good in terms of press resistance, being press resistant. So it'll be a good test of our press. But I want to see Arsenal aggressive. If we sit back and park it and play a 4-4-2 mid block, you will beat us. But if we come up to you and play our game towards you, I think we'll cause you issues and potentially nick a win.
And anything else? Because I imagine, I was like, there's a lot of stuff we've covered there, but I think it's going to be a quite even game, considering a lot of our players are going to be up for this as well, especially with Arsenal coming to town.
Mm-hmm. I think we've covered everything, and I'm just hoping that the players rise to what the occasion is.
Yeah, fair enough. And one thing as well before we finish, obviously, how's Arteta? Obviously, Arteta's winning again and again, but the fan, obviously, you said the fans are behind him. But do you think he's like tactically got things sorted for the majority of the games now?
Yeah. No, I've got no. Fans always want to blame a manager when Arsenal lose. It's always the manager's fault. His tactics, his players, his that. But I look at what can a manager actually do. So Arsenal fans go, we can't make chances, right? As Pep's once famously said, the job of a manager is to get the ball into the final third. Like, his system needs to prohibit getting the ball into the final third. And Arsenal actually are, I think, in the top 4, top 5 in terms of final third entries. So there's no issue getting the ball into the final third. What happens rest is down to the players and decision making. In terms of defensive, for example, Arsenal in the last, I saw it today, some stat of the last 20 games, we've got like 10 clean sheets. The only team that matches that is Liverpool. So defensively, we're perfectly fine right now. We are perfectly fine, and you might have the odd game where one player might have an off game, but overall, Arsenal are a good defensive outlet or outfit. But going forwards is the issue, but that's down to the personnel. And if they turn up like Smith Rowe and Saka, and they are consistent with their final decisions, they can cause any team issues. But with them also being so young, they're going to have those poor games. When they have those poor games, it goes back to the manager. Why isn't Pepe starting? Why isn't Martinelli starting? Because everyone in their own right's a manager at home, right? We're all football managers, right? But yeah, for me, I've been trying to back Arteta from the start, and my support remains there. But at the same time, I want to see results. So I want to see how our team has improved, because we've got fully fit players. I want to see if we can take a game to Leicester. If we were to lose, but take a game to you, it is what it is. But I don't want to see no Leicester versus Arsenal under Unai Emery type of performance where you just walk past us. So that's the real test.
Twice as well in the season as well.
Yeah.
I think
2
years, because it was 2-0
back-to-back years. So 18-19 was Rodgers' first year, and I think it was that second half of the season you battered us 3-1, or was it 3-1 or 3-0? And the second season after that,
Leno had a blinder that game as well. It could have been a lot more if it weren't for Leno.
Exactly. So
that was that ridiculous party goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've seen a few times you've battered us over the past seasons with your fans there. Obviously, last year we beat you, but I don't take too much into that because there's no fans in the stadium. It's not the same. It just isn't, right? So, I want to see these players and how they...
We weren't. We just felt it.
Yeah, but we gave you the first goal. I remember Pablo Mori just letting Tielemans walk into the Arsenal box. But that's the difference, right? That's what fans remember also from that Arsenal, the Arsenal that has Mori and has Cedric and players like that. We've got a proper defense now, that's settled in now. It's the first team. It's completely changed. So that's why I expect a different Arsenal. But you just never know.
That's the thing. I think both teams, again, the comments will be going like kind of the same thing. It's quite 50-50. Babs, I know you've got to head off, mate, but again, appreciate you coming to the channel. I've linked it, again, if you don't know Babs, I mean, come on. Links in the description to his Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channel, all that kind of good stuff. Babs, it's been a pleasure, my friend. I know you've got a dip relatively soon.
Nah, I've got to go. But thanks for having me on, lads. I would say best of luck for Saturday, but no.
Best of luck for the rest.
Best of luck to us. But best of luck after that. Yeah, potentially. But cheers for having me on, lads. Take care. In a bit.
Appreciate it, mate.
Peace.
See you later. Pleasure having Babs on. Again, your comments are flying in. But man, you've just so much information in such a small amount of time, man. We're so slow compared to him.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
He seems a lot more confident about, because I talked to him, just after that 3-0 game at Leicester.
Yeah.
The confidence the Arsenal fans have now since then is just they seem like a different side.
We're the same. I mean, the confidence when we were 2-2 against Crystal Palace, and we were there playing football, and I'm thinking, when is this run going to end? We hate watching. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, we'll get some of the comments again. You've been good. You've been fantastic as well. Good evening to MP Gaming. Hopefully you're doing well. Yuri's a top professional. I think, as Ant was saying, it's fantastic. What's it called? You guys need a mod, and a mod for Leeds. Thank you. We've not had any massive blinders as of yet. I think the channel's quite clean, so it's fine. Babs and Diddy or party. I didn't ask him, but one of them's injured, so that doesn't count. But you have to back in Diddy. I know Babs will say as a number 8, but to be fair, you're probably looking at Tielemans versus Partey, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. They're more similar in terms of that number 8 role. And Didi's more about 6, about holding midfielder.
But the question is he the Ghanaian excellence? And the answer is no. Who will probably play against We have to get it in. Daniel Amati, the Ghanaian excellence, and also he had a blinder. I don't think we spoke after the match, but he had a really good game against Brentford. It kind of went under the radar.
He's that name, but he'll come in, do a job. He's not the best on the ball, but he gets his body in the right place. He defends well, and you can't ask for much more than that. And I've just seen who's just turned up into the chat.
Shout out to Ali. Ali, you beautiful man. You had me laughing this morning. Crystal Palace fan, you've seen him on the channel before after they nearly won, and we were crying at that time. But yeah, again, check out Pride of South London fan TV. Lovely man as well. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well, mate. He tuned in. You saw it, and for the guys that are watching, I think we mentioned it yesterday when we were having dinner. About him coming in. I was like, a Seagull Social. I was like, that was good fun.
No, you've got to respect the shit out of him. Also, his Twitter as well is brilliant. Just constantly on Brighton fans.
It's really good fun, and his YouTube channel. So make sure you check out him. Anyway, you've managed to disrupt the chat again. The Asian Invasion says that brown boy. Love to see it again. Another Asian. You see, Hamza Chowdhury. Do you know what? Yesterday I did the live, and my voice was gone, and we were just very tired at the time. But he did have that double pivot of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall and Hamza Chowdhury worked fantastically.
It did. I think they started to tire slightly in the second half, but that's to be expected for two players who haven't played much at all. But Chowdhury yesterday, absolute brilliant, captain in the side. First half particularly was absolutely getting stuck into everything. So fair play to him. As I've mentioned it to you yesterday as well, and it's something you've been saying for a while, is I think he could be a very good player if he went out on loan somewhere and played week in, week out. I think that would be the best thing for his progression. But then doing that, we lose the depth. So it's sort of
it's a lose-lose situation. No, it's a win. It's a catch-22. But he can't get better if he's not playing football.
Yeah.
And so it's and the thing is, he's, as much as I'm a Chowdhury fan, I've never said Hamza over Ndidi. I've never said that because I know the quality of each person. But he does have an attribute in his aggression that Ndidi doesn't have, if you know what I mean. He's more of that kind of the reason why he was given the captain armband and Ndidi's not been, if that makes sense.
I think also yesterday it was like, you don't want to take it away from him, but he was one of the more senior players in that team because you had the likes of Lookman, well, I say senior, and one of the more sort of long-term players because you had a lot of the newer players there. So fair play to him. Absolute credit, though. Credit to him.
And again, I've been a fan I would probably tell for years, but also I was there when he first came into the Premier League, the EFL Cup, when he was playing against Brentford. Remember those 2-0 to Brentford? Liverpool. Why am I getting them two confused? Liverpool, when he came on, Craig Shakespeare was in charge, 2017. I was going to put this in a tweet, but I was maximizing the 140 characters. Anyway, it was I was there for that. I've been to see him, and he captained the under-23 side, and I think that was the reason why Brendan knows about this stuff. He looks into this a lot. There's a reason why he captained the under-23 because of his knowledge and he was a leader then, and it shows you that. How many times he's played? He's played probably less than 8 times since about a year ago, since the start of last season, probably 8 times. And he's come in and he's led the team. And I think he led by example at the same time. And some players, I was really hoping that he didn't have like a bad performance. You're useless, get off the pitch, blah, blah, blah. I think he proved himself in this game. And again, another player that I think proved himself, didn't quite have as good game, but still a very good performance is Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall.
Yeah, and I think Dewsbury-Hall is slightly further behind in his development than Chowdhury because this is his first proper year as a Leicester player. But he's in a similar boat. He needs to be playing regular football, but you don't want to then lose that depth by sending him back out on loan. The thing is with Dewsbury-Hall, I do think a loan to like a lower Premier League team probably would do him some good if he's not going to get any game time at the back end of the season. But you don't know if Rodgers has sort of got that planned over the Christmas period or any of the other busier periods where we might start to see these two integrated in a little bit more.
Yeah, and we'll have to see again. Ethan's ball. Ethan, hope you okay. And about a moment I can remember was 1920. Yeah, was where Wolves sent off. I think they had that. I think them two. He had. the red card, but also they had a VAR offside goal twice that was denied, one in each, one home, one away. But he does have that to him, and I think he doesn't go to. We saw him. He did go to ground. Remember in the penalty box on our side, Ant. But he's taken the aggression is there, but he's not just. It's like when I play FIFA and I don't know the controls. I'm just spamming the X button, and all the players are just sliding on the floor.
To be fair, I think he's a lot more controlled than he was before, and a lot more
mature.
Disciplined. So yeah, mature. That's probably the right way to put it. So I just think for his own sake, he does need to be starting to play a bit more.
Yeah. Coming into some of the comments now. Again, thank you for your comments. We knew Babs could only come on for a certain amount of time, so we just tried to maximize it while he was here. And boy, did we get maximum Babs for that one as well. And if you guys want to see more of that, but more of the banter side, make sure to check out Careful Lewis' G channel, myself, and Babs, Lewis, and a lot of other fans, including where's he gone? I missed the comment. This man himself, Mr. Quadruple, who thinks he's going to win the quadruple. Anyway, I'm just taking the piss, Ryan. He does think he's going to win the quadruple, though. And so big love to us too, and then a big up to yourself as well, Ryan. Good to see you on. And we'll get into some of the comments as well. Come again. Do you want to carry on with because again, we've kind of talked about the Brighton game, and I've kind of talked about it post match, or should we move back to Arsenal? It's up to you.
Should we move on from a Brighton game and look forward? Because I think there's only so much you can cover with that Brighton game, I think.
I disagree. I think Hamza Chowdhury deserves another half an hour. Anyway, you know how it is. Again, Pat Sindaka, we mentioned as well. And mentioned a lot of this in the post-match, but again, apologies. I think my internet is just deciding to lag out slightly. So apologies for this. And what else do you think? Sorry, my internet's gone. About the Arsenal game. Because again, both of us are in the same position, thereabouts.
Yeah. I think it's a real test, and I think it will probably be a harder game for us than the United game, because United are an absolute shambles at the moment. And I just hope that we get stuck into them from the first minute, don't show them too much respect, and just make it a really difficult afternoon for them.
I think so. I think we can make it difficult for them, but at the same time, it's going to be one of those performances that tests where we'll be at the end of the season. I think I was going to bring the Premier League table up at the moment. They're on exactly the same number of points as us. Let me just bring it. I don't know if I'll be able to bring it up on stream because my laptop is bugging out a little bit. But Leicester in 9th, won 4, drew 2, lost 3 with 15 for, 15 against, 0 goal difference. Arsenal are on 9 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, 10 scored, 13 against, with -3 goal difference. So it is, at the moment, it's a mid-table clash, but they're 2 teams, and there's a gap of a few of us. There's ourselves, obviously Arsenal, Everton are on 14, Manchester United are on 14, Wolves are on 13 as well. And then you look at Tottenham are on 15, Brighton are on 15. That middle group is really tight. I know it's still early towards the beginning of the season, but they've right bunched up there.
Yeah, they have. And this is where like a run of decent performances and decent results can really set you up for the season and can really set the tone for the season. So if we can win this one, win Leeds, and then obviously we've got Chelsea at home, which is a massive game after that. I think it's just about building on the momentum and setting the tone now. Yeah,
I think so as well. Let's have a look at the other one. Arsenal are in a good way. That's a good sign. I think Babs was saying that as well. He goes, you can take anybody at home. Yeah, Nacho. I laughed at that one when I saw that, Chester. Thank you. But he did put first hat trick.
Ramsdale play one straight to Iheanacho's feet as well in that game, I'm pretty sure. Get for Sheffield United.
Was that Crystal Palace? For Vardy's 100.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of the wrong game, aren't I? That was quite.
Yeah.
He played it to his feet.
I was like, I think I know what you mean. I think I was Gaeta as well. So again, speaking of Gaeta, let's get through to Thingy's comment as well, which is the last minute cameos on Beyond the 90. It's beautiful to see it, mate. We look forward to having you in the comments more often as well, especially when we've got a Brighton fan on, because it's just like shark to water, isn't it? Really, with them. It should be sorry, 1 second. Put 3. Hopefully, Sionchu and Vestergaard. That one got me cracking up as well. I don't think he's going to play. I genuinely think a back 3 will be Sionchu, Evans and Daniel Marte, right? I don't think Vestergaard will start. Not after playing 90 minutes.
I can't see it, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
I think as well, who do you drop out of that back three? Because I don't think you drop Siunchu.
It has to be Siunchu because of the amount of games he's played. But you wouldn't.
But you wouldn't. But Siunchu seems to have found a bit of form now. Evans is back. Johnny Evans is undroppable. And Dan Amati, well, like, it would be really harsh on him to drop him out. And particularly
we need to get Ghanaian Excellence t-shirts.
Oh, that is such a good idea. Need to get him holding up the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. On the back.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. But no, it'd be easy to drop Amati if we had a centre back who was there really pushing for that place. Vestergaard isn't.
He's a backup, and as we saw, I think I mentioned this in possession of the ball, he's decent. He was decent last night. People won't give him his credit. It wasn't perfect, but he was decent. As soon as that ball comes and they're pressing us, he comes flying out too early. He's not putting in tackles as much. One thing to criticize him, to be honest, he's not that good aerially. I thought he'd be a lot better aerially than what he actually is.
How can you be 6'7" and absolutely useless in the air? Oh, it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It's like, even when he wins his headers, he doesn't have any authority about it, and the ball barely gets out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because we got again some of your comments as well. Leicester's bench is strong. It really is. I've tried to pull it up, but I've just forgot. So if we go to again, we'll get rid of the comments. I'll look at the bench for previous games as well. But we do have a strong bench, and don't we? Stronger than ever before.
Yeah, we do. And we've got players like Barnes, Lookman, as we mentioned before, Daka, Perez, who I know people like to slate Perez, but Perez off the bench seems to have been a lot more effective and having a lot more impact on the game than him starting. So I don't know if that sort of suits him more, that he's got that chip on his shoulder, or a point to prove, or what it is. But he seems to be doing a lot better off the bench. So yeah, we've definitely got options off the bench, I would say.
Yeah, and he's upped his levels. I think we both said him getting 3 goals and 1 assist wasn't good enough for a Cam. I know he wasn't playing every game, but he needs to up them levels. I think he's got two assists already, and then that's just in the Premier League. He might have had a couple in. Well, he had a goal in Europa League against Napoli as well. So, yeah.
The thing is, you don't want to define a player by numbers and stuff like that. Just how well they play by goals and assists, but his performances, particularly when he was played on the wing last year, which he isn't a winger, let's be honest, but they just weren't up to the level of what you would hope that they would be for where we're trying to push to. But you've got to give him credit, and I know a lot of Leicester fans don't like him, but you've got to give him credit where it's due. He's been decent this season.
Yeah, he has been decent, and especially since, again, Maddison's come into form, that's probably going to push Perez again. I've just found the substitutes bench against, because I was going to pick the one against Brighton. I was like, it's not a good example. Let's go to the Brentford game. And if you look at the substitutes, Bertrand, Barnes, Ward, Perez, Chowdhury, Dewsbury Hall, Vestergaard, Daka, Lookman. That's good going for a bench. I mean, there's a couple of, people are like, they can't start, but obviously, Daka came in and did a job. Perez came in, and I think he did quite decently that game as well. Yeah,
it's definitely heading in the right direction, because last year we didn't have really any game changers on the bench. So it's just heading in that right direction. And as we get players back, that bench is going to get stronger and stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Let's get to your questions as well. David, hello, David. Good evening. Hopefully you're doing well. Expect to say we did that without Evans. Not to say as strong with a back 4 would have been as good with a 3-5-2. I think that's a reference to the Crystal Palace game. But again, with Johnny Evans, there's no coincidence that we start winning when Johnny Evans is in the team. Tielemans' 3rd goal in a row. You could see it happening, couldn't you?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. But the thing is, he only scores absolute bangers, though, doesn't he? That goal against Brentford is unreal.
Even the goal against Man United was just. I watched it. Went, that's amazing. And I've not said that.
It's the technique on it was unbelievable. The thing is, where I was standing, I thought it was a cross where I was in the ground, When you watch it back, he meant every bit about that.
Yeah, he looked and he placed it, and which is even more insane. You know, we've had players in the past that have done similar things, but didn't mean to do it, if that made sense. But he genuinely meant, just like, yeah. Anyway, and good evening to Naeem as well. We met him down at the ground. It's the first person who's ever recognized me in person from this kind of stuff, which is kind of crazy. Not to toot my own horn and stuff like that, but that was a bit strange. But he was a lovely guy. Nice to meet you as well. It was very bustly, but great to meet you as well. Speaking about Arsenal, Ethan is talking about the 1-0 win. It wasn't a brilliant performance, but again, 10 changes. But I think that actually, bit of trivia for you, I think that was the duo of Kieran Dewsbury Hall and Hamza Chowdhury as well as a double pivot. James Justin, I think, was playing in the back three as well.
That was our makeshift back three of like Fuchs, Justin, and someone else, wasn't it?
Daniel Amati, I think.
Daniel Amati with Albrighton at right wing, but no, it's Big Wes. It was Big Wes.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
And then like Mark Albrighton right wing back, and I can't even remember who we had left wing back.
Yeah,
I think it might be Luke Thomas.
Might have been. I think it might have been. Yeah. Again, it's going back. You know, some of these you don't remember it. You should look at the results again. But a couple of facts about that. The Belgian duo are going to be fair. We were just talking about Tielemans, Ethan. Thank you for that. And Castagna. I think Castagna. We mentioned obviously Tavares. Castagna's had a run in the team. He's been with the squad for a while now, a couple of years now. He knows what he's doing in the team, and I think this is his. He's not bombing up and down the wing as much as he was when he first joined, but he's playing like a real mature player.
Yeah, he's brilliant, and he's another one of those that Brendan Rodgers seems to trust and have faith in, and that's understandable why. So him and Ricardo are so important in this 5-back system to provide that width.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely agree there. Definitely agree in terms of him and Ricardo. Obviously, Ricardo on that left-hand side, on that right-hand side as well. He's not quite looked as good, but I think this might be he could be a game changer in this one, just like he was a game changer in Wolves and just like he was a game changer in the Norwich game as well.
He's got that ability. It's just about finding that consistency that he had before his injury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, just coming through your comments as well. Just trying to find because there's so many. Hannah's in the comments. Hannah, I've just seen. No, I can't spoil it. I'll tell Anne after the show. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but there's going to be some good stuff happening there. Hopefully you're all right. Oi, we beating Arsenal. Akash in the comments as well. Everybody's in the comments. Jesus. I think the comments are just keep going. You got to big up yourself. Hamza is great, but not really start the Premier League every week. But still, that's fine. Imagine it's just that. Yeah, that's gonna happen inevitably, isn't it?
I hope he runs straight across to that away end if he does.
We're hopefully looking to go on Arsenal's Fan TV. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of stuff happening in terms of pre-match. There won't be a post-match straight after the game, I don't think, but we will try and bring you one at some point on that Saturday. So make sure you stay tuned because we've got people to collaborate with, and I think I was talking about Ant as well. We've got some collaborations. We're doing a lot more stuff at the ground now. We started the channel when it was lockdown, so it was easy because everybody just logs onto the internet and everybody's available. Now we want to be going to the game, so if you guys will hopefully stick with us, we'll try and bring you as good content, just like the Flex interview, even though we're trying to sort the mic issues, aren't we?
It's a work in progress, we'll say.
just basically this channel's a work in progress, isn't it, as well? We'll see how that goes. You never know. You never know what to expect from Arsenal, which worries me, but also excites me. I think that's for both sides, to be honest. But it's weird because we're both coming into rich veins of forms at the same time, which is, I think, a good sign for both of us.
Yeah, it's one of these that, like, I'm going to be really disappointed if this ends up like a 0-0 draw. The amount of sort of like hype there's been around this game over the last week or so. So I'm just hoping for a good game, but when we can get all 3 points.
Yeah, no, definitely. David's putting a point as well, I think, and I've talked to Babs about this before. Do we match up in terms of players on the pitch? Our personnel counter, Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, their best players. I think overall we do have a better 11 because of the Premier League experience and because of the quality that we've got. However, them not playing, obviously, it helps if we played Europe and then we're going into this. The fact that they've played and then we're going into this, I think, works in our favour.
Yeah, I think as well, probably a fully fit 11, I'll say ours is better. But
Mhm.
with those injuries, it's a little bit makeshift at the moment, but we deal with it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's be about that. Hassan has been paid £400 by Ant to write this comment, which is, if you know about Ant and his channel, again, I agree. But I've just realised, mate, we've got the same hoodie and we look like we're in two very different shades of blue. Anyway,
Either your lighting's better or my lighting's better. I think it's yours.
you see my lighting setup with just like 3 different lights and trying to figure them out together. I'm no professional. If anybody asks and they want a cheap lighting setup, all of these were like £5 from eBay. So we do what we can. Again, people. Sorry.
Ultimate professionals.
Ultimate professional, just like the live streams we have here. Hope so. Actually, going to be a tough one in terms of we're beating Arsenal. Let's hope. Perez and the Carne excellent. It's catching on. And somebody said before as well. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I've lost it. God damn. Somebody was mentioning the Amarte merch. Let's see if we can do a collab. Beyond the 90 Amarte collaboration. Sell at least 2 shirts because I'll buy 2 of them.
You know what we need? We need one with him with the pennant after the FA Cup final as well. Get a hoodie with that on. I'll be wearing that every day.
Down to Chelsea and Ant doesn't come back. Let's see how. Oh my God, there's so again. There's so many
saying about Chelsea. Have you seen who's just arrived? As I say that.
Hey, we're just saying that. Big up, Lewis. Hopefully you're doing well, my G. We'll come again. We'll definitely do some stuff soon. Let's see, mate. Let's see how that goes because again, it could go either way. And Arsenal in the past has gone like it's never normally a 0-0 boring draw. Let's say that.
It's never even. It's Bav said it. It's never normally a close game either. It's normally one team normally sort of quite comfortable. Obviously, there's the exception at the Emirates where we completely got battered all game. 1 shot, 1 goal. We'll take it. But I'm hoping that I really do feel good at going into this game that we're gonna get something from it.
Yeah. I think we can get something from it, but I think that Arsenal will feel the same way, and coming into that, it should be good as well. So, again, can't be relying on Evans. We need Tarkowski again. So that's £800 now. Ant's paid him to mention that
Please
twice.
Stop, I'm going to be skinned.
People say Tide more for you a cheat. I wonder who else said that name. If you go to what's his name on YouTube, but go name on Twitter has uploaded something or in his channel, so go to Neem as well. Abdi Naeem, I think his channel is. So make sure to check him out. He's got a video of his post match, which was again, I saw the clip and I was like, that's good fun. I'm definitely going to watch that one afterwards as well. What's it called? Let's have a look. Making my monthly appearance on your show. Yeah, I know, Hannah. And I didn't spoil it. I just got really excited about who I can't mention. You'll come out in time, but make sure you subscribe to the channel because there is something exciting coming to the channel. Last time we said that, it was Emil Heskey. That was a high bar to beat, but we've got another decent person. You saw your tweet about Hamza. Yeah, if you want to see my tweet about Hamza again, link him on my bio. You'll be able to see it. It's gone a bit crazy, and I'm not used to it because I as Ant knows, Ant used Twitter very differently to me. Let's just say that's the politically correct way of saying it.
You don't really use Twitter, though, do you? You like tweet the videos, and that's about it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So again, it was 5 substitution. 5 substitution could be a rule in all competitions. I mean, with the amount of strength and depth, I would definitely encourage that. But if I was a lower team, I'd be kind of going, I don't want this.
It'll be, if it comes down to a vote, it'll be everyone looking out for themselves. So you'll get the Cities, the Chelseas, Liverpools, United's all in favour of it, and then you'll have the teams like Norwich and stuff voting against it. So it'll be one of those that it's everyone looks out for themselves.
Yeah, there was actually something that we asked Rob Tanner when we first had him on the show, that Brendan Rodgers was in favour of the 5 sub rule, and Susan Whelan actually said, I appreciate that, but here's what I thought, and then she was actually against it. It'll be interesting to see what they have now. So yeah, there was some so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But oh my God, mate, we've been going for 50 minutes. Didn't even realise.
We always say this, though. It just flies, doesn't it?
Unbelievable. Just yesterday as well. But again, Shivam's put in as well. Evening Shiv. Oh, no, you're not Shivam. I think yeah, it could be full speed. It could be anything. It could be two. What I think there's goals in this game though. It's not going to be 0-0.
Yeah. Now, so if it's a 0-0, everyone needs to come in here and blame Neil. Now he said this.
And make sure you like and subscribe.
It's fine.
You think you're shameless? I could play this game too. What was Susan against it? I can't remember. The reason didn't come out. I think Brendan didn't want to not expose the reason, but there was a disagreement. So Chez just goes, all I want is a clean sheet for once. It won't happen. Please have it. Without Yannick, we will. I don't think we're going to have a clean sheet just because our defense. Johnny Evans is a great player and he's a massive player for us. However, we're still going to leak goals because of the quality of our positions, but also our defense. If we had two Johnny Evans or two players, Johnny Evans capability, I think that could work. And also without Ndidi, that does play a factor. I know that Samore is a great player, but he's not defensively like Ndidi, if that makes sense.
No, he's a very different player, but he's done very well, and I don't think you can fault him. But defensively, we still do lose a little bit without having Ndidi.
Yeah, and imagine, Ethan, this is a beautiful point to end in. Bullet header, or like the header 2-1 against Brighton, the bend down to the ground and head it in.
It's a celebration for that. That was
it's always a celebration.
If
he scores, we'll get paycheck in and we'll get Daniel Amate merch. Imagine if we scores that. That I don't know. That would be fantastic. And we need to make a Ghanaian excellence chant as well. Anyway, and before we finish up, anything else you want to say apart from I think we'd mentioned Danny. Oh, one thing we need to mention as well in terms of the Brighton game, Danny Ward's distribution was maybe it's because Casper's not that great, but Danny Ward from distribution was much better.
Danny Ward was brilliant yesterday.
He really was.
He's the best backup keeper in the league.
I'd say Areola is on fire.
Areola, you could argue, but he's definitely top 2 or 3.
He's honestly, he's really good. It's amazing to think about the keepers that we've had throughout the years and how he's like Conrad Logan. As much as I enjoyed him, he wasn't top tier. Now we've got a top tier player that doesn't even play in the team and in the first team, and it's just unbelievable because we would have loved to have had him. Even on the video of he saved the penalty, which was fantastic as well. It's just so much good stuff. Hannah says, do you think Vardy will still be out? I don't think so. I don't think Vardy's out. I think, well, again, the press conference, we tried to have a look before this, but the press conference isn't out, which normally it happens 2 days before the game. But I just think it's just everything is happening so quick at the moment. And as you guys know from the videos, they just keep churning out again and again. So we'll have to see.
I have a feeling it's tomorrow, but I'm not sure.
We'll have to see. Again, we've done a lot of streaming this week. So we're gonna have to again Sunday. We did Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My God, it's been a lot of streaming. But again, there's some good stuff coming on the channel. So make sure you subscribe for this because we're hopefully going to do some collabs with some people that are going to the Arsenal game. Whether it works out or not, we'll have to see as well. RIP Eldin Kupovic's career. I mean, even talking about Eldin Kupovic, I know we're not seeing him much, but a very, very, very good third keeper as well.
He is, and he signed for Leicester knowing he was going to be the third choice keeper. So it is what it is. And then you look at even the youngsters, like we've got that Brad Young. He's another one.
Unbelievable keeper.
Iverson, is it? Daniel Iverson as well?
Iverson, and there's a guy from America who's like 6'7" as well. He's Chikwinzi Ndwundu. Sorry, I can't remember how to pronounce his name perfectly, but he's an American. He's part of the American team, and he's not even featured for the bench for Leicester City.
No,
or the 23s. Can't remember.
So yeah, we've got some very interesting options at goalkeeper. So I think obviously Schmeichel is number 1 for now, but as he does get older, it'll be interesting to see who does take the reins off him.
Yeah, no, definitely. And one thing, again, I think I want to end on this point, kind of come back to the Brighton game. Something I didn't really take into perspective until I went to work today and realised look how many players from the academy are in that, from Leicester, that are in the academy that start against Brighton. Yes, it's a second team, but still, you're looking at Kanan Dewsbury Hall, Hamza Chowdhury, Harvey Barnes, Luke Thomas. I know Vontae Taylor Campbell isn't from here, but he's come through. He's part of the academy and come through, but more the other four. And that's just, and the performance they gave was just, I can't shout about them enough.
It's brilliant, and the investment in the academy is going to start to pay off, and we hopefully over the
It's paying off.
next
This
5
was
10
years in the making, mate. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's
In the next 5-10 years, hopefully we see more players coming through that academy, and it's a huge benefit to the club, and a huge credit to the club, these players breaking through.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want more timely updates on them kind of people, I recommend. Oh, what's his name? I'm trying to get his name correct. His name's Joaquin. We've had him on the show. His name is Waco. Is Joaco. There's Alvarez _ Waco _ Leicester. Let me bring up his Twitter. Ant has disappeared. Has he gone to find him in real life? No, he isn't. But he's a Leicester fan all the way from Bolivia. And he is always tweeting out about Leicester City's under-23s. So I recommend following him. And he's just, we did an interview with him, and he does these long threads. Again, sorry, my internet is not playing ball today. But he's constantly tweeting about some of the under-23s and stuff. Oh, it probably wasn't the right tweet. That was the wrong place to switch on. Anyway, definitely that all went terribly wrong. Anyway, make sure to check out his Twitter. Oh my god, that's really thrown me off. If you enjoy the video, like, subscribe. That's gonna hold my head in my hands for that one. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.